Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Today I've got the brand new Pelsee P1 Duo dash cam. It's got some smart features, and I've got the hardwire accessory kit. So you can go directly into your fuse box if you don't want to use any included adapters. So let's unbox it real quick. We'll go through all the features, throw it on the car. I'll show you the dash cam footage, front and back, and whatever else it's got in it. Inside the box, we've got instructions. Looks like a microfiber cloth, and these are probably static stickers. Yes, they are. So these are optional. On some windshields, it can help it stick, but if you use them, I would take the dash cam off, and it even says right here, in extremely hot weather, they suggest detaching the dash cam and putting it in the glove box, but totally optional. I always go directly to the window. All right, inside the main box, let's look at the camera first. All right. Ooh, that is a lot smaller than I was expecting, just from the size of the box. Very light, too. It weighs as much as the foam does, I'm not joking. So there we go, we've got the little tiny rectangular device. It actually looks like a miniature camera back in the day. I know a lot of people watching this right now won't have any clue what I mean, but this looks like a Kodamatic 110. Very cool. So we got a big old peel sticker here. Even the sticker's tough to pull off. I'm not exaggerating. So there we go. We got what looks like a screen here, and I'm assuming a rear view camera of some sort, maybe a microphone, I'm not sure. We've got a USB-C port on the top. It says power next to it. So yeah, it looks like everything's gonna be all in one. We've got the SD card slot on the right side of it. Or is that a button? Oh, that's a button, look at that. It does not look like a sensor though, it's shiny. It's metal in the center. And then in the accessory box, we have a bunch of stuff. Here's our remote rear view camera. Let's take that protective cover off. Very generous cable with a connector at the camera end. These are definitely my preferred types of rear view cameras. You can mount it, you have the cord very easily bendable. You don't have to worry about plugging in and having to mount this away from the border of the window, and then you can easily rotate it anywhere you want. Makes it super easy to aim. The ones that are linked in place really suck because sometimes you get it wrong and then you have to take the whole thing off and re-stick it. You run out of adhesives. It's just super annoying. But this, once it's attached, very easy to dial in. Then we have our install tools, some extra adhesive pads, little screwdriver for tightening what I'm assuming is going to be a mount, some cable clips, and a spudger tool for getting in your trim pieces. And then we have the standard power connector. That's interesting. We've got two wires coming out of it. Now I have to note that they only give you the 12-volt socket power adapter, not a USB power adapter. That could be a limiting factor for some people, but they do at least give you a USB out on the 12-volt adapter here. And I say a limitation because there are quite a few newer cars that are not putting these in very accessible positions because it's frankly a legacy type power connector. Obviously no one uses them as cigarette lighters anymore, but USB has been the ubiquitous power source, either A or C or both, in vehicles for quite some time. So I would have liked to see this be a USB-C adapter. I'm just gonna flip through the manual real quick. Shouldn't be any surprises in here, but let's go ahead and get it out installed and just confirm here. Yep, just a display, power button, and microphone. So that is not a camera or anything like that, even though it does look like it. But this is what I wanted to look up. It does support up to a 256 gigabyte card, which is a very good support option. And then they just give you the install for the app, which you'll use to set up features and download any clips. All right, let's get it installed. The hardwire kit is a lot nicer than I thought. This is pretty much a universal kit. It's got the USB power adapter and the special two wires out to the back of the dash cam, but other than that, I mean, this is what you would get with any kind of universal kit. We've got multiple types and sizes of fuse adapters. These allow you to have no permanent modifications to your car. You plug this into where one of your fuses are in your fuse box in the car, and then on the other end, you get the pigtails, and they go to the power wire. One is for constant, one is for ground. This will go to a grounding nut somewhere by your fuse block. Every car is different, so you just have to look and find it. And then the other goes to a switched power source. Usually tail lights, something like that, something that's only on when you start the car. And that's it. And then you just run this, and you don't have to worry about that 12 volt again. Now that is, of course, optional. This also gives you the option of using the parking controls. So if you want to have your car be a sentry mode, and if it gets knocked, if it's in a parking lot or something like that, it'll start recording automatically with the parking mode. And that's what this does by limiting the voltage drop, so it won't flatten your battery over time. So just for the purposes of the review, I've got it mounted here on the left of my mirror. The main power wire coming from either the hard wire kit or the 12 volt adapter is one long cord, so you can route that out of the way anywhere. The cord supplying power to the rear camera also has a connection pretty close to where it plugs into the camera on both options. So bear that in mind. This is non-flexible, so you want to be able to hide this somewhere close, go up into your headliner or something like that out of the way. Got the rear view mounted in a position I know is going to be a good one because I've reviewed enough dash cams. So here in the app, it's actually very fast and full featured. It pops up with your live view first. You can click the little icon just to the bottom left of the view screen to go from front to back. You can also mirror the back or the front by clicking the icon on the right of the view screen. And even if you mount the rear upside down, if you need to for your wiring or just wherever you need to put it, you can flip it inside settings down in the bottom right. And you've got all your different stuff that you can set. You can record the sound or not. It has a built-in speaker that will tell you if it's doing things, stopping, starting, recording, that kind of thing. You can turn that all the way up or down to mute. You can have optional voice control to save a clip or things like that. It is 4K standard resolution. You can also select 2.5 or 1080p to save some storage space. Don't know why you would do that. And then you can pick your loop recording duration. This is how big the clips will be. Doesn't really make much of a difference between 1, 2, or 3 minutes. For easiest download in a crash situation, I do suggest the 1 minute though, because it's quicker to get it off the camera to your phone when you need to. I'm in the US, so my frequency is 60 hertz. You can optionally turn on the timestamp on the video itself or not. You can turn on or off the wide dynamic range. No reason to turn that off. The image flip is rotating it if you have to mount the camera upside down. 24-hour clock or 12-hour, however you prefer. You can set your date format. You can set the sensitivity for if it detects a crash, it'll automatically lock the clip it's on. And that little screen on the front, which I'll show you in a second, you can have it automatically turn off after a certain amount of time or just leave it on. And of course the voice commands and speaker language choice. And then you can set the Wi-Fi information. The default password, by the way, is 123456778. I just guessed that because that's what pretty much every dash cam is. It is up to date on firmware, and I just formatted the card that I stuck in there. Just happened to be a Samsung 128 gig card. Works for absolutely everything. I'll put a link down below if you need one. Just a quick note, I completely overlooked this in the bag of accessories. It does come with a generic 64 gig card, so no need to use your own. And then last is the factory reset. And here's what it looks like in the car. Now you can see that there is quite a bit of glare. That's not just on the screen in here, you also saw it in the app. And that's because there's no polarizing filter on the front of this unit. I didn't see one optionally. It'd be nice if they had one. Whatever dash cam you get, I strongly recommend you always get a polarizing filter if it's available, because it knocks away all the glare coming into the lens. So this is a real good spot. I test for dash cams showing a lot of detail. This should show how much compression, if any, it's applying to the footage. We've got dark shadows in the trees, bright sunny Florida day. That'll also show the limits of the dynamic range of whatever it's recording. And of course, the sound of the included microphone. What you're hearing is the recording on the Pelsee itself. Now looking at the screen here, it is whoa, that's a big pothole. It is a pretty wide angle lens, which means it's going to be very hard to see plates unless they're right in front of you, like within a car length. The Tesla in front of me, he's about 5 car lengths ahead. Let me get up a little closer, and then we'll be able to see in the footage how close you can read plates. He's about 2 ahead of me, now one ahead of me. Obviously, if you're getting in a crash or anything, this is about where you would be to actually need to pull the information. But the wider the angle of the lens, yes, the more you see on the sides, but harder to read information. Now, it is a 4K cam, so you can zoom in, though. All right, let's check out the night footage. All right, wrapping it up here with the night test. We're going to look for how sharp it is, if there's any noise, what kind of exposure it's got going on, how it handles glare with headlights on plates, and that kind of thing. I'm going to go out to the main road here and just get behind a couple cars real quick. Check out the rear camera footage here just to make sure it looks similar to the front, which I'm sure it will. Check out the rear camera footage here just to make sure it looks similar to the front, which I'm sure it will. And we're about 5 car lengths behind this car. We get a little bit closer. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So there's our plate reading capability. Now let's see how the glare looks when I get back into editing. So there you go. If you're looking for a really nice all-in-one sleek unit, definitely check this one out. See you next time.